On DC News Now, the sun is out to start the week. Meteorologist Damon Matson has your full forecast.
Former President Joe Biden diagnosed with prostate cancer. We'll tell you what we know next.
And tariffs impacting our largest ports, what that means for the price of everyday goods. On the move, Metro saying goodbye to Smart Trip cards, testing a new way to pay. A Vietnam refugee giving back in a major way.
My wish is they take my lesson to help others.
We're celebrating Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
And good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for the news at noon. I'm Tosin Fakile in for Mark Hall today. We're kicking the week off with loads of sunshine, a breath of fresh air after quite the wet week last week. Let's send things over to meteorologist Damon Matson with the first check of our forecast. And man, oh man, is it good to see the sun today.
Tosin, this quiet start, it just is amazing. Plain and simple. Yeah, not just wet, but stormy last week. We went out with a bang with all that activity, unfortunately, at the end of last week. All that severe weather on Friday. And this weekend, we turned the page. We did have some quieter weather for the most part. And today is just a continuation of that. We have very breezy winds on this Monday. 25 to 30 miles per hour coming out of the northwest, and that bit of wind has been helping to kick out that storm system that tried to linger on Saturday, even a little bit into Sunday. But for the most part, these winds are continuing to kick that out of here and usher in some very comfortable air and even cool for some of us. We woke up this morning mostly in the 50s. We've recovered back to the low 70s in Frederick, Leesburg, DC, also down to the south, a couple upper 60s hanging on to the north and west. But given how sunny it is out there this afternoon, we will continue to boost up those temperatures so that everybody makes it back into the 70s. A few of us will try to push 80 by the 3 to 4 o'clock hour, but those breezy northwest winds will make that feel just a little bit cooler than the actual thermometer reads. So all in all, yes, a fantastic start to the week. But the big question here, is it set to last, or are we in for another batch of very steady rainfall or perhaps even thunderstorms by the time we get toward the middle of the week? We'll have a full look at that forecast for you coming up here in just a bit.
All right, Damon, we'll talk to you soon. Thank you. Former President Joe Biden has been diagnosed with an aggressive form of prostate cancer. He was diagnosed Friday after the discovery of a prostate nodule. Candace Cole is in Northwest D.C. with more on the former president's health.
Former President Joe Biden's diagnosis of prostate cancer comes nearly a week after a spokesperson says a small nodule was found during a routine medical exam. We also know that cancer has metastasized to his bones. According to a statement from Biden's office, the former president and his family are exploring different treatment options. Prostate cancer is the second most common cancer among men, affecting 1 in 8 men in the U.S. Screenings for it usually start around age 50, but they typically end around age 70. Biden's health had long been a source of speculation over the course of his presidency. Treatment options for prostate cancer can include surgery, radiation, immunotherapy, and hormone therapy, among others. The good news here is that Biden's cancer is said to be hormone sensitive, making it a manageable form of the disease. Earlier today, Biden took to social media saying cancer touches us all. Like so many of you, Jill and I have learned that we are strongest in the broken places. Thank you for lifting us up with love and support.
Wish him well. My father-in-law, who's 93, just got diagnosed about 4 months ago with exactly the same thing. And it's a tough thing to go through.
A lot of the talk that I'm hearing today on TV is, did he have it? When did he have it? How long did he have it? You know, I don't care, because I had faith in him that he had good people there, that if something happened with him, they could handle it. You know, and that's a key thing, and something that I believe is missing from what we have right now.
And support for Joe Biden has been pouring in from both sides of the aisle. President Donald Trump wishing him a fast and successful recovery. In Northwest, Candace Cole, DC News Now.
Meanwhile, on Capitol Hill, House Republicans advancing President Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill. That bill narrowly passing in a committee vote last night. The bill includes $5 trillion worth of tax cuts, cuts to Medicaid, and cuts to federal employee pensions. It also adds funding for border security and allows for more drilling and mining on public land. One committee member says he believes passing the bill is essential.
But the important thing is we give the president the resources and the tools that he needs to implement the America First vision, to make America safer and more prosperous again, and give the American people the confidence that their children will have a great quality of life and the blessings of freedom and opportunity, just like every generation to this point.
Not everyone was on board, though. There were some holdouts as some Republicans want more cuts to Medicaid and green energy programs. The House is expected to vote on the bill sometime this week. And happening tomorrow, a rally calling on Congress to invest in programs for infants and families. Families from across the country will be on Capitol Hill for Strolling Thunder. Organizers say their top priorities are child care funding and stopping cuts to food and nutrition. That rally will begin at noon at Upper Senate Park. And a scary scene in New York after a Mexican naval ship crashed into the Brooklyn Bridge. That is the video you're seeing right there. 2 people died, 19 others injured. It's believed that turbulent waters played a role in the crash. NTSB is investigating how it happened. Officials will hold a press conference this afternoon. Developing now in Maryland, Prince George's County Police are investigating a deadly shooting in Fort Washington. Police say a man was shot and killed overnight on Wood Hollow Place. If you have any information, call police. And one man is dead, another hurt after a shooting in the district. Police say just before 10 p.m. last night, officers responded to the 4600 block of Benning Road in Southeast. They say the man died on the scene. The other person is being treated for non-life-threatening injuries. The shooting is under investigation. If you have any information, contact police. Developing now, a pilot rescued after a small plane caught fire and crashed into the Potomac River. Maryland State Police say it happened Saturday just after 4 p.m. near the coast of the Naval Support Facility in Dahlgreen, Virginia. Crews say the small seaplane caught fire during takeoff before crashing into the river. Crews were able to rescue the pilot and he was taken to the hospital. There's no word on the pilot's condition or why the plane burst into flames. And over the weekend, in Maryland, 2 people were rescued after they were found clinging to a tree in the Potomac River. The 2 were found near Riley's Lock on Saturday. Officials say they were somehow separated from their boat that was swept away because of the river's strong current. Crews say they were taken to shore on a rescue boat and treated for non-life-threatening injuries. And it is official, the first ever American Pope held his first Mass. Pope Leo holding his inaugural Mass yesterday in St. Peter's Square. He also took his first ride in the Pope Mobile and received gifts. The pontiff called for unity during Mass, saying there are too many wounds caused by hatred. More than 200,000 people were at Mass, including Vice President J.D. Vance. And Pope Leo XIV prays he will be a worthy successor of St. Peter. As he held his inaugural Mass, many headed to Mass in his hometown of Chicago. Judy Wang with our sister station WGN has that story.
I greet all of you with a heart full of gratitude at the beginning of the ministry that has been entrusted to me.
In his hometown, many attending Sunday Mass say attendance has been up since the former Cardinal Robert Prevost was elected 10 days ago.
He seems like a wonderful man, a good consensus builder, team builder. We're just really excited for what he can bring to the church.
I think that the Catholic Church should maybe take some cues from Pope Leo and his broad appeal, because, you know, he's a first pope that's really had some social media presence, and I think that's really good for the church, and it's really good to open more eyes.
Ahead of the inaugural Mass, the faithful cheered, chanting Viva el Papa as Leo went on his first ride in the Pope Mobile. He stopped to bless 2 babies handed to him.
shepherd the flock of God that is among you, exercising oversight, not under compulsion, but willingly, as God would have you.
Pope Leo received the pallium, the white wool vestment, and the fisherman's ring bearing the image of St. Peter, symbols of the Pope's authority. In his homily, he said to the crowd the Vatican estimated at 200,000, the cardinals who elected him had sought a shepherd capable of preserving the heritage of the Christian faith and of confronting today's world challenges.
And now, with fear and trembling, I come to you as a brother who desires to be the servant of your faith and your joy.
At times, the Chicago native who grew up in South suburban Dalton appeared visibly moved as he was taking it all in.
He really is an everyday guy. I mean, like, he's a Sox fan. I mean, he's from the South Side, you know. I mean, who from here does not connect with that?
It makes you closer to him. You feel, I mean, he's human. He's not untouchable.
At the end of this celebration, I greet and thank all of you, Romans and pilgrims from many parts of the world.
There's never been an American pope, and to have that, it's a treasure for us.